Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of the Passion Project with Jess. This week we got episode 19, and we're joined by Kel Scott, aka Errant Flo. Now we're doing a bit of a what are we going to call it, Kel? A bit of a yay!
I can't help myself.
I know. We're doing a bit of a do-over because Kel was actually my second guest when I first started. How many months ago was that now?
I reckon that was probably April.
I reckon it might have been. Yeah, late April.
Mm.
That was cool.
But it's been a long, long year, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, it has. But it's been really quick as well. So Kel's actually, she's been a part of this, even in the backgrounds from the very, very beginning. Like, we just started going live. Do you remember that when we were just like, hey, let's do this because it's fun?
Yeah, Friday Night Lives.
What was that called? Do you remember what it was called? I do.
I think what? Friday night with Jess and Kel.
Yeah.
That's and the trailer. That's right. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. So this trailer that I made up had some Bollywood music, wasn't it? And
that was excellent. COVID lockdown sucked for a lot of people, but I think for us, we just made a lot of fun out of it.
We made the best out of it. Hey, like, what else are you going to do in a situation like that?
Have fun.
And Kel is a self-taught dance skater who found a pair of roller skates. Where did you find them?
I found them in an op shop. So I came to Mackay almost 2 years ago. Within it's probably about a week. In 1 week, it will have been 2 years. So probably about a month, maybe. And I found a pair of roller skates in an op shop. I was like, yeah, cool, roller skates. And
roller skates. Retro ones too, weren't they? They were old school.
They were cool. They're gone now. They got destroyed. I skated them, and then my daughter skated them, and just literally tore them.
Shoot them up. And all of you skate now. So Kel found these skates, and now every single one of you, your whole little family there that live in your bus, have skates on your feet.
Yes, we do. We're a big skate family.
Yeah.
And more often than not, it's my partner, Craig, or, often the kids saying, come on, let's just go out for a skate. They're dragging me out. It's especially Craig. It's like, come on, let's go for a skate before I have to go to work.
Yeah. And there's nothing like, Kel, you really did follow your passion because you did your year of skate, 365 days.
Yeah.
You honed in on your...
Yeah, so that was 2019. I found those skates at the very end of 2018, and then, the wonders of the internet, started Googling stuff, found this awesome skate kind of scene online, and did a 365 days of skate challenge through 2019. Which was excellent.
You know what? Like, the more I think about it, you really are the one that demonstrated passion to me before I even started considering what it was, or even knew that it was something that I, to be passionate about passion. And you just did what felt good. You've demonstrated that from the beginning. Kel found these skates. Cool. Good idea. Put them on a fake. Cool. Good idea. I'm going to do 365 days of skate. Cool. Good idea. Going to put it on Instagram, and you gained a massive amount of followers. You've inspired countless amounts of people. You really have. I know you don't like talking about it, but...
Yeah, I know. It's okay. We can talk about it.
Well, let's be real.
I wigged out about it a little bit, but yeah, we can talk about it.
So Kel's you're humble. You're very humble, but you taught me a lot about passion. You demonstrated it well before anybody else I've known in my life to me. And then you gave me a bloody book.
That's how the passion project began, right?
Yes, that's how we got here. Kel gave me a book. I drove with a 2-month-old. How many kilometres? I don't know. A fucking long way.
4,500 or something.
3,500 with a 2-month-old and 2 other kids. Went up and seen Kel, and she goes, "Hey, you got to read this book." I was like, do I? She's like, yeah. She goes, it's everything we know, and it's really simple, but you've got to read it. And I got halfway through it, and my whole freaking life's changed.
And you know, the funny thing, like, I found that book in the tip shop. I'm a bit of a, I don't like paying full price for anything kind of girl, you know, except my roller skates maybe. But I'm a bit of a hoarder. I'm a bit of a scrounger, and I found this book, and I'd heard about it. Do you want to tell us what the book's called, Jessica? Because it's changed your life more than mine.
It's called Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell. I think nearly everyone in the spiritual community, and I'm just going to say quickly, especially for the podcast listeners, my philosophy, is that what you'd call it? Our philosophy on passion isn't just for people who have faith in anything. Like, I believe this will work for anyone, but this book, even though it's all about spiritual awakening, spoke to me like no other book I've ever.
It's a good one.
And Kel introduced me to a hula hoop, so she's a really good hula hooper too. Like, she's really good.
I pretty much just go through life doing random shit.
Kel goes through life doing what feels good. And you know what? She's discovered herself. She's got a good sense of self. She's good with self-awareness. She does her shadow work the way the rest of us do. And, you know, if you don't believe in the whole spiritual thing, just look at your shit and fucking deal with it. Right?
Yeah, mostly. It's funny because, like, I've looked, you know, a lot of the people that you've had on have these big stories of struggle, you know. They've had to go through a lot of fucking shit to find out what it is that they love and what their calling is and what they are here for and what they're here to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like a bit of a wanker most of the time because I pretty much am a very entitled human, you know. I call myself a trophy wife. I pretty much just scoot around doing what I want, what feels good, like you say. So it's kind of weird.
But you know what? If there's nothing else that I've learned through doing the Passion Project is that we need to talk to people from all walks of life, even people that feel they are entitled, because it's still been a journey for them. And how it works for you and how it works for another is going to resonate to two completely different groups of people. And I would be grateful if this would reach, you know, help people. I don't even need to ever hear about it. But so we need to hear people from all sides. I don't think you don't have to go through struggle or anything like that to be able to go, hey, I found my passion and this is how it worked for me, because your story is going to resonate with somebody out there just the way everybody else's has.
So, and that's the thing that I've sort of learned. I know it's only been a few months really since our last discussion, but I've travelled around the country a little bit, and for the most part, I've
for nearly 10 years. She's travelled around the country for nearly a decade.
Not that long, maybe 7 years. But I've spent a lot of time in communities where there is a big, you know, like self-sufficiency kind of mindset. You know, don't take more than what you need, and living in a small home. Like before we lived in our bus, we had a really tiny motorhome that we travelled in. And when you're living in that travel community and with people that are doing what you're doing, you know, you're all in the same boat. You all have the same mindset that, you know, just don't need more than this. This is it. So it was a bit like coming to Mackay. I'm in Mackay in Queensland now, which is it's not a big town, but
it's bigger than where I am.
It's bigger than where you are, and it's a mining. Where I'm in a mining community, you know, this whole town the whole economy really runs off the mining industry and the sugarcane industry. And it was like when we first got here, it was a little bit confronting because there is a lot of money. There's a lot of money to be made in the industry. And, you know, we sort of started hanging around with the people and sort of looking at the lifestyle and thinking, well, hang on a minute. We can make that money. Why don't we have nice things? Why don't we have, you know, a big fancy house? And why don't we have a nice fancy car? And, you know, all these things. And we started getting a bit down about it. And we still do. This is a constant struggle. It's not something that just happened once. And then we stop and we check ourselves and we go, hang on a minute. Are we doing what we love every single fucking day? For the most part, yes. Some days, no. Some days it's shit. That's life, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, I live in a tiny house. It's shit. It's always messy. You know, it's hot. I have no privacy, but I have no debt. I have no bills.
You've got freedom.
I have freedom. If we want to go tomorrow, I can go tomorrow and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was a big. So when I say I'm entitled, it's not that I'm entitled. It's that I've made conscious decisions, conscious or not, maybe, but I've made decisions to keep my life in a place where I have the freedom to just roll with what comes.
Yeah.
And that is a fucking amazing thing. Let me tell you.
But it comes with sacrifice, doesn't it? Because we're brought up in this world that teaches us, you know, and I'm not saying it's wrong to go out there and want to own the big house or any of that. Like, if that's right for you, do it. I'm 110% on board for anyone doing with what feels right for them, so long as they're not hurting themselves or anybody else. Let's just get that out of the way. But with what you're doing, it hasn't come with sacrifice, because we've been brought up in this world and we're taught that, you know, you get educated a traditional way. You might grow up, you might travel, you might find you'll find a partner, and luckily that's starting to change. So it's not just heterosexual couples anymore. So it's opening up that way. But still, you find a partner, you might travel a bit more, but you have to buy a house. That's a constant that we're taught, right?
Yeah.
We have to buy a house.
The great Australian dream.
Exactly. And even me with my camper van, right? As soon as I bought that, I looked at people and I'm like, I'm a fucking homeowner. And they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I can live in that if I want to. 110%. You know what I mean? And it doesn't come without sacrifice. But then again, if we do what feels right for us, you know what I mean, as individuals, that's where we really light up, and that's what's right for you. But when you get stuck in a community, especially like you're talking about, where that is the normal, you start taking that on and you're like, hang on.
Yes.
You got to, as you said, check yourself. Like, what do I really want?
It's a constant reminder, you know.
So if that is a self-awareness,
you're surrounded by values that aren't your own, eventually you start to question your own.
Yes, exactly.
And again, like you say, I have no problem with people who have different values to me. You know that, Jessica.
Yeah, no.
It's just not for me. I'm too fickle. I'm too changeable. I like to just be able to go
gone.
So do I. You know?
And Kel, honestly, she's come into my life and she's shown me everything I knew that I always was. But given my, you know, I love my parents, I love my family, all the rest of it, but given my upbringing, it was hard for me to find. And, you know, I'd packed everything up and left all my shit behind and moved to Portland, Victoria. And I walked into this caravan park and I was sitting there having a smoke on the balcony, and my son goes, hey, that's my friend's mum. And I looked over and I'm like, oh, fuck, not another adult. And it
was funny. My son did the same thing. He was like, Mum, you really have to go and meet Talon's mum. She's really nice. I think you'll like her. I'm like, yeah, fucking.
Yeah, I don't like them.
It's not going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen. Well, and look how it worked out.
We eventually met, and it was a wild ride, and it's worked out perfectly.
But it's awesome, and this is what passion is. Like, you just have to know if something feels good, honestly, deep within your fucking soul, and it makes your heart just burst, probably just do that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say to people now. Like, wake up every day. If you want to find your passion, wake up every day and do something, you know, even if you can't every day, even if you're too busy, at least on a Saturday, wake up and do something that's calling you. And if you don't know what it is, go back to your childhood and go, okay, what did I like doing there? And this is where we get to self-awareness, okay? Isn't it? Like, you got to be self-aware, because you got to know who you are outside of what society expects of you. Did I word that right?
Yeah, and it's a really hard thing, because when you're growing up, like, you can't take yourself out of the culture that you've been brought up in.
It's hard.
And you don't want to. It's not a natural thing, you know. as a species, we want to be connected to
Accepted.
people. You know,
Yeah.
we want our village. We want to be
Yeah.
a part. We don't want to be the solo weirdos swimming against the fucking tide. Nobody
No.
wants to do that. It's hard
No.
fucking work to do that.
Amen to that.
You
It
know,
is very hard work. I've done it
if you
a
can
lot.
find, like, if it makes you happy, you have to go through and keep pushing. And like you said recently, Jess, you know, if you are authentically and unashamedly yourself, people will fall out of your life, but then there's a space there, and then the people
Yes.
that you need will come. And it's so fucking scary to do that. It's a terrifying thing to shed that.
I just dipped my toes in every so often for so many years, gone, oh, no one like that. Oh, no one like that. I've got no friends and I'm lonely. And but get down and get it done, because the other side, the other side of that, you know, when they say on the other side
like,
of
not
fear is
everyone
freedom?
can jump into it quickly. Some of us do. We have to, like I always say to you, I'm a fucking slow learner. You say you pick shit up quick, Kel. You fucking spiritually, you bam, bam, bam. Like, I think about it for 4 fucking years before it starts to manifest, you know? I got to fine tune that shit. I can't just jump through things like that. So don't feel like, you know, your spiritual awakening is going to be like, boom. Sometimes it's just a really boring, long, slow process.
I know, but it's at the same time, it's really quick as well. It's one of those, like the COVID year. Let's just call it the COVID year. It's been really slow, but at the same time, I don't know anybody that wouldn't agree that it's been fast as well, you know?
I quite enjoyed the COVID year. I've liked the shutting down. And
does it not feel illegal to say that, though? You feel like if you're going to say that, you're going to get fucking rocks thrown
maybe
at you?
for you, because you're in Victoria. This is the thing too, like, it's such a division between people, isn't it?
Yeah.
The COVID. It's dividing.
Yes, there is. Yeah, okay, let's talk about division. So I don't want division, but I think some way it's going to happen anyway. You know what I mean? So this year feels like, to me, everyone's just going to pick a path. It's like, pick a fucking path, man. Pick your path and decide where you're going to go. Buckle up, buttercup.
Yay.
So Kel skated for 365 days. Every day.
Yes,
she put it up on Instagram. Inspired countless amount of people, and a number of people that I have actually had on the Passion Project.
Yes.
And learnt a lot and taught a lot. And tell us a bit about that journey, if you want to, like the feelings of it and the good and the bad. Don't emphasize the bad.
So just committing yourself to doing something every day. I didn't even, well, I guess I did know that I really loved skating. Otherwise, I originally I committed to 100 days. So I said, I'm going to skate every day for 100 days. That was on the 1st of January, 2019. And then I hit 100 days and it was great. And I was like, this is so cool. I'm just going to keep going for a little bit. And eventually, after about 2 weeks or so, I think I said, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm committing to the 365 days. And I don't know, I guess that was just a commitment to me organizing my time to prioritize myself and prioritize what I love to do and what I wanted to get better at. So I live in a bus, as we've talked about. I have 3 kids. I homeschool my 3 kids. My partner works a really challenging job. So, you know, I'm pretty busy in my daily life. You know, I have a lot of stuff going on. And sometimes at the end of the day, it was just like, oh, yeah, I can't be bothered. I want to read this book, or I want to hula hoop. I want to skate. I can't be bothered. So by committing to that, it just helped me to organize my time better, to make sure that my cup got what it needed. My cup got its fill. Some days it wasn't like that. Some days it was like, I'm just doing this because I've got to get through the challenge. Some days were shit. But most, like 95% of the time, every time I put my skates on. I felt better. I appreciated everything that I had to do more after taking the time out from it. I learnt so much stuff. I learnt so much. I made so many freaking friends online all around the world, which to me was amazing. And as a homeschool mom, it's amazing, you know?
Yeah. It's
I'm
a
like, why
lonely
don't we
road.
ask my friend in Russia? Why don't we ask my friend in Canada? You know, like people everywhere. So it was just basically committing to taking care of me, not taking care of me, but like filling my cup and fueling my passion.
Mm.
And it just exploded. Like I did it. It's an Instagram challenge, 365 days of skate. It fucking exploded. I ended up with, at the
10,000
end of the
followers.
year, it was like 8,000 followers or something, which to me was fucking huge. I'm just like this freaking learn to skate mum in Australia doing whatever. Yeah, it got
With the
big.
light inside of you though, so you can check Kel's stuff out on. Or actually, do you have it all on there? Because
No. So that's the other thing. I got carried away with it, and then I got up one day and I was like, wow, this is getting bigger than me, and I don't want that. I don't want this anymore. There were a lot of people that started talking at me like I was some freaking amazing skate human, and I'm really not. I'm just learning like everyone else. So I got up
she
one
really
day
is
and I deleted my
everything.
account. And
And I
then
was like, and it took her a week to tell me, right? So this is a chick. We speak pretty much we'll go as a constant every fortnight. Sometimes it's more than once a week, but over the time it's about once a fortnight. And it took her forever. And this is how bad your anxiety brain can get if you want to talk about that for a second. I went to go tag her in something on Instagram and I was like, are we fighting? And I didn't even fucking know about it. And she blocked me. And then I tried to ring her. She was busy and she didn't answer my call. So that just fueled my anxiety. I said to my daughter, can you find Kel on Instagram? She's like, no. I'm like, so she blocked you too? Like my brain. I got hold of her and she's like, well, actually, I didn't tell you. And I'm like, you deleted 10,000 people. You deleted
I didn't
10,000
delete 10,000. I probably deleted like
There was 10,000.
9,950.
There was 10,000. I remember us having the
There were
discussion
50
about 10,000.
solid people that knew
Anyway,
about it.
and I was like,
We had a connection in other ways. So, but basically, yeah, what happened was once after a week or so, I'd already had connections with a certain amount of people, and I told them, I said, I'm going to delete this for a while. It's getting a little bit of a place that I don't like. I talk to you. And then I got
I'm never on
messages.
Instagram, to be fair.
I got messages from people all around, and like through the people that I was connected with. These people, like my friends, started sending me messages saying, look, this person has just messaged me asking about you, you know, do you want me to share your email or whatever? And like I got a lot of them, and I just went, wow, just got to suck it up, buttercup. What you got to do is skate, and people like that, and
just be you. You're not.
I don't get it. I still don't fucking get it.
But this
So
is
I
the
came
thing,
back.
right? This is the thing, right? When you're doing your passion, you don't get into, in my opinion, you don't get into the mechanics of it. You just do what feels good and you keep doing it. And because you did that for 365 days, you started inspiring people. So yeah, people were contacting you and whatnot. You weren't doing it for any sort of fame. You weren't doing it for money. You were doing it from a really, I want to say, wholesome and open-hearted space. You know what I mean? There was no secondary gain connected there. You know,
That's exactly right.
You just did what was fun, and the people came, and you enjoyed it, and then your little brain got you into a whatever about it. But that just goes to prove how much that isn't what you wanted, because you were just that easy. Deleted it. And now here you are, you're back again, and you're just doing you. When you feel like skating, you skate, and when you don't, you don't. But
In
she's
fact,
amazing.
I just realized that there was something there, and people were really genuinely concerned about me.
Yeah.
And that meant a lot. And I know that sounds dicky. I'm like,
No,
these are people I've never face-to-face met. But I feel
doesn't
like
matter.
it's been such a really nice connection.
Exactly. A connection is a connection. And that's the thing. We just got to do what lights us up and just do it without a worry in the world.
And without justifying it. That's what it came down. It was, to me, it was like, I can't justify this. This is stupid.
So would you agree? Kel's very humble, so she's like, who the fuck do I think I am? And I'm like, you're just you.
I'm really not humble, though.
You.
I'm like completely up myself generally.
Jesus, she's a bit of a twit. I did write that. Oh, but I didn't send it to everyone else. I only sent it to Kel. But anyway, moving on from that.
Put it in the comments. It was the best description. So fitting.
And also through doing what you loved for that 365 days, you brought about healing and clearing on so many levels in your life, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Not just personally, but like...
That's just movement, though, for me. Like you said, before skating, I was hooping.
Let's talk about that because the hooping's pretty crazy. You introduced me to that.
So it's like when in our first interview, you know, when Jess said, what is your passion? I said, it's flow. It's just being in the flow and finding it. It's not just skating. It's not just hooping. Like, it's a movement thing. It's flow is what I am addicted to.
And it works.
Yeah, it's a spectacular thing. So it's just movement and awareness. That's what I'm kind of moving towards now. A lot of people keep asking me, oh, you know, would you run skate classes? Would you teach me how to skate? Blah, blah, blah. And I keep blowing them off saying, God, I didn't fucking know. I've only skated for 2 years. I don't even know what I'm teaching, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's becoming more of a deeper connection to just movement and balance. So movement when you're on your feet, we've done it our whole lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you put wheels under your feet, and this is something that Craig has taught me, my partner.
Who's a surfer.
He's a surfer, but once he started skating, after about 5 or 6 weeks, he was like, you know what? My neck and my back don't hurt anymore. He's a truck driver, right? And he's just had this chronic pain here. And he said, it's from this. It's from, you know, driving. Once he started skating, it went away. And it sort of got me thinking, and I was like, is it because it's like learning to balance all over again, you know? You put wheels under your feet. It's a whole different, you know, you can adjust here and there, but he didn't learn like a normal learner. He goes, yeah, I can do that, puts stuff on and goes and tries everything. So, you know what I mean? It's like he didn't even have a chance to compensate. He just tried all these crazy things. And so it really got me thinking about, you know, what is it about movement and balance and how we get stuck in patterns physically and, you know, spiritually, metaphorically, all the way.
In every way, yeah.
But in physical patterns of just having our balance being put off, whatever. When you put wheels under your feet, it's like you got to reset everything.
Yeah. Because as I didn't really say this earlier, but even if you don't identify and have a belief system in any sort of a spiritual way, you're still a human being here having an experience, and all of this stuff can have an impact on your life too, and it definitely will. You just got to name it something different, I guess. And when you taught me hula hooping, oh my, for the love of God, she gave me this hula hoop, and you said, this is what you do, and I couldn't, like, it was like I was like a stick vibrator everywhere, and it took me. I loved it, even though it took so much to get it going. And, you know, and then Kel bought me a beautiful hula hoop for my birthday. And now I can spin it and just stand there and have a conversation and walk in whatever direction I want. The hoop just keeps going. But I remember when I started, I was like this. Now, I'm still not a good hooper by any means, but I can keep the thing up with effortlessly. The one you bought me. And even the lighter ones, actually, I can keep them up. Kel still outweighs me, but it's not a fucking competition. Says the most competitive person in the world.
You're an idiot.
But it feels good. So when we've had discussions about this, right? When we haven't hooped for a while, when we get up and hoop, we can feel all these different emotions come up, especially for the next few days afterwards. So it's like it's clearing the energy centers. It's a good way of expression. Like I can get out of the backyard there and throw the hoop around real angry and toss it across the yard and whatever else, have a tantrum with it, and then love it again. And it's forgiving in that sense because, I don't know, it feels like the only thing in the world that is. My hoop will always forgive me. It's here for me, you know what I mean? And you're moving stuff, and then if you do it every day, which admittedly I haven't been, I've been busy, right? But it clears stuff out emotionally because movement, as you said, like it's not only good for the physical body, it's good for the mental body, it's good for the spiritual body.
Yeah, yeah. And it's energy. Like if you think about it, you are essentially levitating a piece of plastic around your body by pushing your energy at the right spots, you know?
Yeah.
You've got to push it here and you've got to push it there to keep it moving.
Yeah.
If you want to move it up, you've got to push your energy centers
upwards,
up, you know?
And your focus as well. So when it's down low, you're at your root chakra. And when it's around your waist, you're at your sacral chakra. And when it's at your, waist, in between your waist. And when you're up around your ribs, you're sort of your solar plexus. So you come up to your heart, and then you come up to your chest, and then you come up to your throat. And I don't know how to get to the head. I don't hula hoop around the head. Actually, I've tried with my dread bun. I have tried, admittedly.
I've managed a bun hooping video.
Have you?
Yeah.
How have I not seen that?
I don't know. It was about a year and a half ago.
I would have seen it.
I'll find it. I'll send it to you. But yeah, it's movement and it's balancing, you know. And when you have to focus on movement, you know, like if you want to push a hoop, you want to lift it up, you want to drop it down. If you want to put wheels on your feet and, you know, it throws you off. And if you want to turn around, you really have to focus on not every, but, you know, like specific.
Damn that word.
Muscles, you know, that you don't normally think about if you're just doing what you do every day.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And admittedly, I tried so I could skate decently, not well, but decently when I was a kid. And then I went up there to visit Kel and I put the skates on my feet a couple of times and I was like, oh my God. No.
You did good. You did good.
I did
you didn't fall down.
No, but it's inevitable. It's going to happen probably. I shouldn't say that because, anyway.
No, but it does happen and that's what you have to be prepared for. And that's why it's important to know
how to fall. Yeah.
And that's another thing about, you know, just that connection to your muscles and go, if you're going down, don't fight it. Flow with it. It's flow.
Yeah, everything's
Pick a cheek, land on a soft spot.
I tried to twerk today just for a bit of laugh. Tried to show my daughter. I'm like, I watched a tutorial on fucking TikTok. Is that how you do it? She's like, it looks like you're just wiggling your legs. I'm like, that's what they said I have to do. She goes, Mum, you've got to have an ass first. So now I'm not fat enough. Is what I took from the comment. Just thought can you twerk by any chance? Don't show us, but can you?
I think we should have a live demonstration of that.
No, probably not. That doesn't convert to the podcast, does it? No one's going to understand that.
What if I make, like, you know, noises? Just trying to help.
Am I even going to say what that reminds me of?
70s porn music?
Yeah, pretty sure I heard it come from my dad's bedroom a number of times when I was a kid.
Hey, all right, calm down. It's not just
I'm joking, but you know what I mean. I'm joking. So, and no one was watching. Thank God for that. I'm joking, obviously. So yeah, movement and flow, and you know, if anyone watches someone, like listens to you or one of the other guests, or sees something on TV and whatever else, and looks at that person and goes, I really like what they got and that would be cool. instead of feeling jealousy, because actually that's something I realized today. I don't feel jealousy a lot. I look at it even since I was a kid, right? I look at it and I might feel it for a second, but I'm like, how do I make that happen in my life? But I'll do it in my own way. You know what I mean? So you need to feel that. And if you look at someone and go, I'd love the feeling of being able to put roller skates on my feet, that'd be cool. Get a secondhand pair of roller skates, put them on your feet, and try. And if it's not for you at the end of the day, at least you tried. It's better than doing nothing. And then if you wake up tomorrow and go, oh, you know, that'd be cool. Or this woman does poetry or this bloke does, and I'd want to give that a go. Give it a go. There's nothing wrong with trying different things when it comes to finding you and what you're good at, which is what I want people to understand, because often enough when we meet people that go from job to job to job to job and stuff like that, society doesn't have a great look on them. You know what I mean? They're like, they're
so
what's
true.
the word? They're what's the word for it? Not unstable. There's unstable a word.
Sounds right.
Think of, but anyway, society doesn't like it. It seems to like it. I call it society. I'm going to do that for now.
But this comes back to like what we were talking about earlier about just, you know, what we're culturally conditioned, you know, to grow into and to be.
If you like something tomorrow, tonight, or whatever, and go, oh, I'm going to give that a go, give it a go. There's like, you're not going to lose anything. Unless you've got to pay for something, you might lose a little bit of money, but you're going to learn something about you. There's no such thing as failure. Yeah. Would you not agree? There's no such thing as failure. There's
Absolutely.
only lessons. And I know
it's funny because I picked up an old book that I've read it a few times. It was John Holt, and I think it's called Instead of Education. And I just picked it up and flicked through it. You know, I was cleaning up a pile, and one bit was, you know, we bought our daughter a bike. She said she really, really wanted a bike, so we bought her this bike, and she hasn't touched it since. What should we do? Should we yell at her? Should we get cranky? Should we sell the bike? You know, should we talk about it? And it kind of went on to say, like, why don't you just, you know, to me, and Jess, you and I have talked about this, about gifting things unconditionally. Give things without any expectation.
Mm.
And John Holt's writing was basically like, why don't you just let it go? Maybe she's looking at it. Maybe in her head she's thinking about it. Maybe she's working it out. You know, maybe in her head she's writing that again and again and again. It's a scary thing, you know, when you first learn to ride a bike. You've got to take your foot off the ground. And that, just kind of reminded me that it's okay to pick things up and go, I really love this, but, you know, I don't want to do it right now, or I don't want to do it every day, or I don't want to do it every decade even, but it's something that fuels me and, you know, makes my soul shine. Doesn't mean that I have to constantly be fucking nailed by it. It's okay to just do what you love. And if that means you only have to do it once every 10 years, then do it every 10 years.
And we can love many things as well. So
yes,
I can't tell you how many so-called hobbies I've had. I'm a trier. I try it and then I leave it. If I don't like it, I've always been good at it. I've always kind of felt guilty about it due to other people's opinions of me doing that.
But it's not other people. This is the thing. It's a cultural expectation.
Well, it's me also caring what other people think, you know. That's actually something I'm working on, not caring what other people think. That is fucking hard. I believe it comes with age.
Not caring, but not taking it upon yourself.
That would be
other people can think whatever they want. I care about that, but it doesn't affect what I do. I care that you feel that way. I understand that you feel that way, and I'm sorry that you feel that way, but it's not going to affect my behavior.
Yeah. I like that. I do. Sorry, I was just thinking then, and also, yeah.
Anyway, we're live. This isn't just you and me talking.
That's all right. People will love it. So what advice would you give anyone looking for themselves and their passion? So I just want to say that because you can't not be looking for your passion and not find yourself. They come hand in hand.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to stuff that you've said at the beginning, which is you don't think of a passion as something that, you know, you don't have to be Mother Teresa. You don't have to be a massive affecting human, you know, on a grand scale. If what you do makes you happy and other people are happy by that or are affected by that in a positive way, then do that. Don't worry.
Get out, get it done. And the inner child tells us all, like, yeah, I probably say this nearly every episode, and I'm such a big believer on it, is you need to get your inner child out and you know, look back at what you liked when you're a kid. What colours did you like? What, you know, preferably before you become, in some cases, before you become a teenager, you know, because we are so, when we're younger, we are just us, aren't we? Like, that's it. We're unapologetically us when we're young. I want this and I want it now. Or I don't want to eat that. You know, it's over time that we, I don't know, learn to disconnect from that. It's a tricky one, actually, as a parent.
Well, and that's another thing too, isn't it? Don't get caught up on a specific thing.
Well, no, not unless you want to.
But if that's your passion for 2 years and then suddenly you go, oh, wow, that's completely consuming me, go and do that.
Yeah, go and do that. Yeah.
Eventually you'll see a link between things. You know, I used to love to dance, and then I found a hula hoop, and then I roller skate. The connection all the way through is movement and balance, and, you know, understanding the flow. Yeah, it's flow.
And mine's always been talking. I've always been up in front of people talking with everything.
That is true.
All right, everyone. Now, the comments, there's no names again. This issue shows up every now and again, and some weeks it does, and some weeks it doesn't. But it sounds idyllic. Idyllic. The freedom. I have to agree.
But it's not idyllic. Like, it's not without its...
The freedom, I mean. Sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah. Freedom. But again, it's not something I just go, that's it. I'm choosing that, and that's life's going to just sail away beautifully for me. It's a constant thing. I'm constantly swimming against a tide.
Yes, right. So, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Consciously connecting with the self and checking in, is this really how I feel? And then discovering, oh, fuck, hang on, no, I'm still me. That's cool. I didn't change overnight. Because we can get caught up. I mean, I guess I'm lucky enough that I'm not getting caught up at the moment in what everyone expects of me, I guess you could say. There's a surprise coming, though, but I'm not telling anybody. Kel knows what it is. Nobody else does. Zip, zip. Hello, beautiful, whoever you are. Lila, maybe? I would have got the name wrong.
I can't see the names. It just says Facebook user.
Yeah, that's all it's saying for me too. But hello, beautiful.
Hey, beautiful ladies. Can you tell us who you are? Because we can only see Facebook user. Why does it do that? Can't you get a better thing?
This is a better one than the last one I was using. I can't say much more. Otherwise, I'm just going to say what I want to keep to myself. So I'm going to thank everybody for watching, and thanks, Kel, for coming and joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Jess. Oh, it's Jess Ainsworth. Oh, that woman.
Hi, Jess.
I'm going to hug the shit out of her when I see her.
Give her a double hug.
Oh, it's going to be so tight. Like, do you ever get, I don't know if anyone else does this, do you ever get like like even with my son, I'm like, I just want to squeeze you. Now, logically, I'm like, why do you want to squeeze the baby that hard? It would hurt him, but it's like oh my God, cute. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's Jess Kent.
Oh. Little Jessie Kent.
Hello, little Jess.
Hello. I seen Kent and I was like, how the fuck did my dad get on here? You're beautiful, Jess. I love you. Jess is actually someone I'm very, very proud of. You know, I met her when she was, I think, 17, 18. I think.
In Portland, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I was still down there.
Yeah, she's now 21 this year, I'm pretty sure.
No, has it been that long? Yeah, it's been 3 years.
Job, paying her own bills, stepping right into herself.
Yeah, because all my Facebook memories are packing up, getting ready to leave Portland 3 years ago, and 2 years ago was on the road leaving Sejuna. So I'm actually getting really keen for a pack up and go somewhere.
Oh.
Even though I love Mackay, I kind of want to go drive my bus and find some new stuff to do.
Oh, I gotta go because before I let the secret out early. Okay.
Bye, everyone. Yay!
Thank you for joining. If you have any questions for the amazing Kel, you can follow her Errant Flow, so Errant_flow on
I don't have
Instagram.
10,000 followers anymore. So.
No, she doesn't, but go and follow her. She also does under Errant Flow again, _flow, so Errant_flow on YouTube, tutorials on, and there's simple dance skate stuff, right? So it's not out moving, it's just like the crab walk. Is that the crab walk?
That's the crab walk.
Oh, cool, I got something right.
See, I can teach anyone.
You can, and you know, I've seen comments on there and heard from other people that her tutorials are very, very easy to understand, more so than others that they had found. So there's a lot of, you know,
I talk a lot.
Good feedback on there. She doesn't. You don't never hear her talking. She's full of shit. Like you don't often hear her talking.
What kind of abuse do I have to endure as a guest on your show, Jessica?
She's a co-creator. You're a co-creator. You just normally sit there behind your keyboard.
Ridiculous.
I love her.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone. To anyone that's listening to the podcast, if you want to subscribe so you know when new episodes come out, you can head to thepassionprojectwithjess.com. And all Kel's links will be in the show notes. And everybody who watches and joins us, thank you so much again. Your support is very much appreciated. She's laughing at me. I love you all.
Laughing with you.
See you all next week. Yes. See you next week. Surprise. Bye-bye.
Okay.